Guys, alert the media. It's official. I have a Substack now. I've had one for a couple months actually, but I just put a new story on it yesterday about forest rave. By the time you see it, it'll have been out for like 2 weeks, but go look at it and subscribe, please. Please, I'm begging so much. It's AVERXYN on Substack, just like YouTube, just like Instagram. Okay, love you so much. Have so much fun watching the video. Bye. Okay, over the last week or 2 weeks, I've been working on this essay for my new school's newspaper, which I had wanted to write for so long, but I obviously, now that I go there, it is a possibility. And this is the first thing I'm writing for them. This month I'm writing 2 things. And the second one is a series of anecdotes in a creative nonfiction essay format about me and my German roommate. This is the big kahuna though. This is the big one. I'm writing about the thought daughter thing, like THOUGHT. Like this kind of thought. But we talk about the other kind in the opening essay. Okay, so this is me proofreading the draft, and then I will give you a link to the actual one, and please read the actual one because you're not really supposed to do this when you do stuff like this, but we're just girls, and we're just having fun, and there's only 50 of you, so you don't even care. Okay, anyway, ready? The plight of the thought daughter. I know I am, but what are you? On a small island inside the internet, beheld by a government of Joan of Arc, Bintopia, and Otessa Moshfegh, lives a world of literate young women. They exchange Sylvia Plath novels for coffee and Diet Pepsi, they berate the islands around them, and they build homes of books and Jeff Buckley lookalikes. Nightly, they sit around fires of torn Ayn Rand novels, burned for warmth. The roots of the thought daughter phenomena are actually quite pure. Though often misconstrued into discussions of aestheticism, a thought daughter is really nothing more than, in many ways, an online depiction of the thoughts and feelings of a complex real girl. The phenomena morphed out of a joke within a joke of the tired, would you rather have a thought daughter or a gay son TikTok trend. The question most internet users have heard asked during those uncomfortable drunk on the street interviews. I beg you, do not go down the Reddit rabbit hole for this question. The current status of the thought daughter has become quite separate from its originator, now used to reflect on the thoughts and inner workings of women and femmes. The phenomenon of the thought daughter characterization was no more than a public call into the void to find the other young women with deep attachments to complex literature and specific media, who are known for feeling deeply. That's in quotes. Most likely this is my interpretation, and so you'll have to forgive me, but in my eyes, I see it as a common understanding of the post-teen melancholia. We are no longer woe is me 13-year-olds who have just read Twilight or watched Lost in Translation, though we hold many of the same attachments to those characters. When we engage in the idea that nobody thinks how I think and nobody understands how I feel, we choose to establish ourselves as outsiders. Much of how a socially awkward boy who prefers Star Wars to social engagement will, in some ways, see himself through that vision forever. Humans are not so complicated after all, and if you or I, at 14, believed ourselves as reincarnations of Joan Didion, the silent viewer, the holier-than-thou, the mighty vessel into the world, we will always see ourselves that way. My apologies to the thought daughters and the Instagram reels, but men also get emotional looking out train car windows. It's often depicted that a woman or femme in this archetype is highly introverted and has grown an ability to repress their feelings. And it is within the community of old female writers, archive interviews, and conversations with other young women that they feel represented. Let's zoom out a little bit though. Aside from general personality differences, why do some women brand themselves as intelligent, complex thinkers and others do not? Why is nobody calling a male introverted philosophy major who reads Bukowski a thought son? Let's not do that. Maybe that sounds silly, and maybe that goes down to personality traits. But if we take the topic of the thought daughter away from its associated authors and movie characters, what is left aside from general feeling? The thought daughter in its essence holds one emotion, deep reflection. Don't we all do that? From one thought daughter to another, I think we need to give everyone else more credit. Perhaps everyone manages complex emotions. Everyone can be introverted at times, and listen when I say this one, everyone thinks deeply. If we don't want to end up in another state of not like other girls culture, we need to notice the complexities in each person's individual experience. This is not to tell us that we can no longer read Patti Smith, and yes, she can still be a formative member of our identity. Nor is it to tell us that we can or Eileen Myles. And yes, they can still be formative members in our identity. Nor is it to tell us that we cannot see ourselves as Clementine from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Too much damage has been done. Too much damage has been done from her. Done from her. To reverse that anyway. Anyway. Yes, we can still watch Lady Bird, and yes, you can still prefer Greta Gerwig's early work. Identifying our self-identity through interests and personality differences is not the debate in question. Rather, what we should acknowledge is that these feelings are not independent to this brand of young girl turning to young women. While we can write and read moody books on deep reflection, we do not own this emotion. That is both the beauty and truth of complexity. While this brand of female characters will never go away, and we may continue throwing pages into the fire to warm our island, we must also admit that someone does not have to look like us or read like us to think like us. I'll hold your hand when I say this. You and I are not so unique after all. I need to get, it's 800 to 12, and I'm at 832! I'm at 832, so it's fine. She also asked for third-person POV, and I'm doing first-ish. I think it's going to be fine. The hardest part is adapting this language to be more inclusive instead of this becoming something of men versus women. I'm going word by word to kind of fix it, but I'm proud of it, and I think it sounds good, and I'm really excited to see the final version. As I mentioned, I will give you the link to the final. Please look at the final. It'll be better, and the editor is great, and everyone works so hard. This is just fun because I like reading you my drafts. Bye.